All right, one of the great things about Blackmagic cameras is the fact that there are a ton of different recording media format options out there. You can record to SD cards, CFast 2.0 cards, and through the USB Type-C connection to an external hard drive like a Samsung T5 drive or something like that. And then you also can, like, HDMI or SDI out, you can send to an external recorder, which is really cool. So a lot of options out there, but my preferred option has always been CFast 2.0 cards. So that being said, why am I even talking about memory cards? Because that's like the most boring topic, and there's no way this is going to be that interesting of a video. Well, I just saw that Vaxxus announced a new line of CFast cards, the Archon series of CFast cards, which they look pretty much like any other CFast card out there. So what's so special about them? Well, for you Red Komodo users, this is actually a big deal because they are one of four, I think one of four at the time of recording this, memory cards that are approved by Red to use on the Red Komodo. In fact, I think they just came out with a firmware update that adds support for these new cards. So really awesome there for you Red Komodo users. It gives you another option to shop for when you are looking for memory cards. So yeah, for you Red Komodo users, that's really exciting news. It gives you more options out there for recording media, and it seems like anything related to the Red Komodo these days is just hard to find. So it's great to have another option out there. But for me personally, I have the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro and the Ursa Mini Pro G2. They both record to CFast cards, and as I said, that's my preferred method of recording media. So when I saw the announcement, I reached out to Vaxxus and just asked them if they had any PR units that they'd be interested and willing to send to me to kind of test out, and specifically on these cameras, and kind of make a video about and all that kind of stuff. And they were kind enough to do it. They sent me a 512 gigabyte card, which is really generous of them. Now, one thing to know about these cards, they are new to the market. Vaxxus is definitely not hasn't been in the memory card game very long. In fact, this is they're very new to it. This is their first line of memory cards. However, they are engineered and manufactured by Exascend. So as I understand it, they have some kind of partnership. They probably just rebranded some Exascend cards, which if you look at Blackmagic Design's approved media list for the Pocket 6K, you'll see that the Exascend Essentials card is an approved card for the Pocket 6K. So I wouldn't be surprised if this card here gets added to that list as well. But in the meantime, I figured I would do a couple of tests of my own, since they're not on Blackmagic's approved website, to see if they could, if the card could hold up to the demands of the different recording formats and stuff like that in this camera. Recording formats, I'm meaning resolution and compression rates and all that kind of stuff. So anytime I get a new card in the mail, I run it through basically a burn-in test, and what that means is essentially I'll put the card in, I'll format it in camera, and then I will put it at whatever compression ratio that I want to record in, and then I'll run it until either I get drop frames or the card fills up. So what I did on the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro here is I set it up to 6K resolution, so the full 6K resolution, and set it to 3:1 compression, and just let it roll until the card filled up. And that's exactly what it did. The card filled up, no drop frames at all, so I was really happy with that. So the next thing I did, and still in 3:1 compression, is I bumped it up to 50 frames per second to see if it could sustain those write speeds. And again, it filled up no problem, not a single drop frame, so really happy there. And then I started just doing 120 frames per second and in 2.8K, 2.8 or 2.7K resolution at 3:1 compression, no problems there. So for this camera, what I've found is this card is not limited to the write speeds of this camera. Now, as time goes on, that might change, and if that changes, I will make an update video to let you guys know. But for now, this seems to work perfectly in this camera at any resolution, any frame rate, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm really happy that that card I can trust for that. And that was at 3:1 compression. And typically I record at 5:1 or 8:1 compression, sometimes even 12:1 compression if it's an interview just for web delivery or something like that. So that tells me I have full confidence that this card is going to perform no problems with regards to the Pocket 6K Pro. Now moving over to the Ursa G2, on 4.6K resolution, 24 frames per second, no problems at all. Same thing, card filled up, no drop frames. The only time I got drop frames was when I went to 4K, 4.6K resolution at 120 frames per second in 3:1 compression, and there's still not a single card that I have used that does not drop frames after about 10 or 15 seconds on this camera, and this is the same case with this card right here. It drops frames at 3:1 compression. However, when I bump up to 5:1 compression at 4.6K, 120 frames per second, not a single drop frame and good to go, and can just keep rolling it and rolling it like no problem. So that being said, this card passes all of my tests for what I would use it for, really 5:1 or 8:1 compression on both these cameras, and I have full confidence that this thing's just going to continue to work. Now, if that changes, I will make an update video and let you guys know if I start seeing drop frames at any of those different resolutions or frame rates or whatever. But for now, this thing passes tests, and it's A+, 2 thumbs up on this card. I'm really happy with it. And the cool thing is with this one, they actually have a 5-year warranty, replacement warranty. So if you have a faulty card, just contact Vaxxus and they will send you a replacement. So that's pretty cool there. That's a pretty generous warranty that they offer out there. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this card. Not a really exciting video. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this somewhat informative, and that's pretty much it. Subscribe if you want to, thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff. But if not, maybe I'll see you in the next one. I hope I do. Peace.